Shalom, shalom, family. The cosmic nature of this reality is ever changing, right? And our ancient ancestors knew that. That is why the um, Dravidian, ancient Dravidian people, they knew that they have a term called ananda, right? Or bliss. And bliss is the ultimate ground of reality. It is everything, it's consciousness. That is what bliss is. Okay? And consciousness means one thought stream or one mind, right? Imagine if someone grabs a paintbrush and starts painting, or a musician grabs a guitar and starts playing music. There's no difference between the guitar and the music, just as there is no difference between the painter and the painting. It's all just one, you know, one kind of experience. And so that is what ananda means. It is when the mind, before the mind goes into judgment. That's grass, that's a tree, that's this. Start separating. It's before that. It's the basic root that roots us all together. That's why it's one mind, right? One consciousness, one body, right? And so that's why you'll hear a lot of words in Sanskrit having ana, right? Um, what's it called? Anahata, right? The heart chakra, um, nirvana, um, shavasana. It all ends with ana, right? Because they understand the basic nature of reality. And so, what tantra? See, tantra is because you have the an. That's what I'm pointing out basically there with that root, the an, ana or an, right? Um, which ana in Hebrew means grace, or in other words, bliss. It's the same thing, right? Because I believe all of our ancestors at one point they were grouped together. Some of you believe in Atlantis. I believe they were grouped together in Atlantis. That's how you have so many civilizations that are far apart from each other but know how to build pyramids and things like that and have similar spiritual practices, right? It's not coincidence. Anyway, um, that's what tantra essentially is. Tantra is dancing. It means to loom or to weave, to dance, right? And it's the dancing of the masculine and of the feminine. The feminine is the creation, the basic space of things, and then the masculine is like the what some may call order, wisdom, right? It's the counterpart to the divine feminine, basically, right? And so what we do when we perform yoga, right, is we are kind of imagine an onion and see how layered an onion. All you're doing is basically you're having sex with yourself in a way. You're becoming more intimate. You become more intimate with God. That's why folks who meditate and they're kind of silent to their wisdom. They're able to do things like remote viewing. They're able to tap into these psychic gifts that some people find weird or strange. They know things. They know what's going on somewhere far across the world. They know what's going on with family member. Uh, um, 30 minutes away from them. They know these things. They feel it because they're tapped into the one consciousness, right? And so that's why I say that the nature of this reality is ever changing. It's not as linear and as consistent as we think, because you thinking back on yourself from when you were younger, right? You cannot point out what that you no longer exists, basically, right? You can resonate, you can say at that point I felt sort of like this, but that you no longer resonates. Just like in a dream, when you say you have a dream, you have you're a whole different person in this dream. You have a family, you spent 5-10 years in this dream, right? In the dream it felt like 5-10 years. When you wake up it feels just like moments. Just like when you think back into the past, it's just like moments, right? It's like, wow, I can't believe I stayed here for 20 years. I can't believe I did this, and time flew by. And it all just feels like moments. It doesn't feel like as long as it were. And the reason why this is because our brain, our hippocampus, which rules our long-term memory, it governs our dream memories as well. So the same part of our brain that stores long-term memory is the same part of our brain that stores dream memory. It shows that it's all basically the same thing. Okay? And the reason why I want you all to understand this is because then you can start to see that reality is actually a lot more malleable than it seems. Because when we think of time, we feel like we are um, conditioned and governed by time, but that's just not the case, okay? Because time is ruled by space, okay? And space is infinite. Space rules past, present, future in all timelines, okay? Because the truth and reality is we're existent on all of these higher dimensional planes all at once, or you want to say the subtle planes all at once, okay? So, um, my experience with this is through lucid dreaming. I practice lucid dreaming, and now in my lucid dreams, I have done things that some people may find strange, out of the ordinary. They'll call it, there's a word for that, mystical or supernatural, right? Beyond nature, but it's actually a lot. It's actually natural. Supernatural means beyond nature, but nothing is beyond nature. Okay, everything is nature. So, um, just to talk about a few brief experiences that I've had in lucid dreaming. I've had experiences where I've had a lucid dream and I seen in a mall an elephant head in the window, and then as I wake up later in the day, my mom comes home from with this big elephant head from Goodwill. I seen something before it happened, right? And that's not the only time. I seen something before it happened in my lucid dream where I seen on this like board at school, it was written Chicago, and then when I woke up and I searched up Chicago, I seen that there was like some sort of cyclone, something was hitting, weather base was hitting Chicago at that time, right? In real time. I'm dreaming these things in real time and they're happening, and I did not know about it previously. And that's just only two of my many amazing experiences. In February of this year, I wanted to, or January, really at the end of January, February, I wanted to buy the Nintendo Switch, right? And so I was just like visualizing me getting this, the game, but I really wanted the light. I wanted the smaller version. And then so I said, you know what? In my lucid dream, a goal that I have for myself is to play the Switch, see how I feel, like actually have the experience. And I did so. And literally days after, then I was able to manifest, and I got actually the bigger one. You understand? So, um, and I actually tried that last night. I performed a candle ritual, which I already did in this reality as well, because I want to start tattooing and I want to get all the materials that I need. So I set intention that all of that will go smoothly, and I performed a candle ritual last night in my dream for that, and I'm sure that it will manifest. So I'm basically saying this to say, like, the dream realm, the dream reality is a lot more sensitive. When you're dreaming, you feel things a lot more intensely. It's like your senses from this reality is like 7 times more magnified, okay? But that's because, think about it like the light spectrum. You go from red all the way to violet, right? And then after violet, it goes infrared rays, ultraviolet rays, so on and so forth. They get more subtle and they vibrate faster and they become more powerful, right? It's the same thing when we dream. When being in this reality, the vibration is a lot more um, dense. Okay, I would say it's probably flipped. Okay, just my logical mind trying to make sense of it, but it doesn't have to be. I could see how it would um, go both ways, but I'll explain. This physical reality is vibrating so fast, right? So fast, and that's why the particles of a solid wall would have to be vibrating faster than um, the speed that you put your hand into it with, so your hand doesn't go through it, right? That's why a drill is able to break things down, because it's hitting it so fast, right? It's going a bit faster, and also too is hard, right? So that's just one example. Or another example is if you look at plane propellers, if it's going slow, you can put your hand through it, but if it's going fast, it'll probably cut your hand off, right? Because it's going faster than your hand. And so um, that just goes to show, like, when we go into the dream reality, things are vibrating a lot more loosely, okay? Loosely. So things are a lot more malleable, right? Thought waves. That's why when your thought waves, they can actually go through walls, right? I can connect with someone just by thinking of them, and they may think of me at the same time, though we might not even be in the same space. Okay, it's a lot more what we call lucid. Okay, and so using this space, using visualization, using affirmation, using your thoughts to manifest things is actually very, very powerful. Okay, because what you're doing, you're tapping into your future version. Okay, even if you want to say, like, because the past, present, future is all one, you're tapping into different timelines. Some people may call it reality jumping. Okay, that's how people go back into time and they connect with their what's it called, inner child, right? And heal certain wounds for the past. Okay, because we're not limited to this time and space. Within 5 minutes, I can have, let's say, I could live out a whole lifetime in visualization, right? And so again, we're not, that's why the Buddha said, the Buddha made his disciples meditate in the morning, and they said their meditation that was really only like a minute or a moment, it lasted an eternity. That's what he meant by that, is that again, time is not as relative as we think, but it's only relative to space. Okay, because space governs it. When you think about time, it's a metric, and it deals with uh, the movement of the earth relative to the sun. Okay, so the matter in the space is what creates time, so it will always go back to space and the elements and things like that that create that kind of motion, which is innate to us. Okay, the same things that made the sun, which governs time and all of these greater things, is within you. Okay, as above, so below. All right, so practicing manifestation in dreams and astral projection, whatever you want to do, visualization, you don't even have to go that far. It's very, very powerful. Okay, I don't want to give you guys too much sauce just in one video, so I'm gonna just leave it there at that. But it's a very powerful experience, and I just wanted to share my experiences with that. Okay, so peace and blessings onto you.